What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Tottenham update. A few snippets to get through, a bit of transfer rumours as well. So let's get straight into it, and let's start off with news from Spurs official. And they're saying the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium has received approval for licensed safe standing in seated areas from the 1st of January 2022. So it's actually happening. It's actually happening, and safe standing is coming to the Premier League at the turn of the year.
And hopefully our South Stand should be booming with that. I'm looking forward
get the corporates out of there, and then maybe it will be.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to getting some proper atmosphere back into the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Hopefully the standing will lead to that, and that I think it's positive in general. I think it's time now that we try again with the standing, and hopefully football fans around the country can benefit from it. And I just think you can get the whole crowd rocking again, and that's the most important thing. I think gone are the days where you could like when Hillsborough happened and everything, where you can everyone just cram in. You can't do that. The Tottenham Hotspur said you can't just cram in and barge yourself in. You have to there's a proper way of doing it, and I think now with safe standing, it should be fine.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm a bit kind of skeptical of it all, because anyway, behind the goal in that section where they've put safe standing, everyone just stands there anyway.
Yeah,
it's
but now there's no stewards telling you to sit down anymore.
The thing is, in that section, I don't think stewards did tell people to sit down. It was more further back where people are not allowed to stand after the safe standing approval anyway. For me, if we want to get proper atmosphere back in this stand, we need to get rid of this 1882 rubbish. That's what we need to do.
That's the most important thing, yeah.
That's what we need to do. But I think definitely a step in the right direction, that's for sure. But I don't know. I think that people always will stand there anyway. So I don't know if it's going to make too much of a difference. I think the difference maker will be getting the corporates out of the middle of that stand, in my opinion, anyway. Right. Let's move on, because there's been a statement from Nuno Espirito Santo, the first anyone's heard of him since his sacking at Tottenham. And I'm just going to read through this statement for you. And it says, "Wow, the last few weeks have been hectic to say the least. This is football, the most ruthless sport in the game. Only a couple of weeks back, I was crowned manager of the month, and fast forward to the present, and it's been some days since my dismissal at Spurs. This is life. I move on forward, now looking forward to my next challenge. And finally, I want to say thanks to the fans of Spurs. When I joined this great club, I envisaged a vision to bring trophies, but all didn't go to plan. That's all's really. We live and learn. Look forward to keeping all of you posted, and thank you once again for your constant support." What do you make out of his statement there?
I feel bad for him. I just think he probably got the job thinking he'll be given a bit more time than he did, and the results weren't they were bad, but they weren't horrifically bad.
It was the manner of the results, really, wasn't it?
Performances were pretty bad, but I still think he's a good manager. I don't think he's a bad manager. I don't think his time at Spurs should condemn him to being known as some sort of terrible manager. I just think it was the wrong time for him, wrong guy at the wrong time, probably, in terms of being the Tottenham manager. And I think he should go on to be a Premier League manager again. I'm sure he could get a different, maybe younger team, a more hungry team going, and I think the Tottenham circumstances were too difficult, and I think even under the circumstances, he did some things good, but unfortunately wasn't good enough for what we needed.
I do feel this job was just a bit too big for him. It just was a bit too big for him. Not the Tottenham job per se is too big for him, but the circumstances that he was brought here under, I think, was just too big for him. I felt like the pressure got to him way too easily and way too quickly, and he never seemed to recover from that, unfortunately, and that was the situation.
It's true, and you could see that he would seem to be struggling with every press conference, and every time he had to speak to the media, he just didn't seem happy at all, did he? No. Always seemed stressed out, and
that was literally after his first loss.
Yeah, and he just didn't have the charisma, I feel like, as well, to really be in charge of this group of players, which I feel like he needed. And I'd also felt like Spurs didn't respect him that much in terms of hearing all these things, giving him a smaller office and stuff. And we all know he was ninth choice, and it was always a feeling. There was always a feeling like the first opportunity we could get to get him out, we did, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, literally. But let's move on, because Alistair Gold has been talking today, and he's been talking about Antonio Conte and how he's getting to grips with the squad. There's quite a few here, so we'll just get through them. First one is Antonio Conte has already taken a big shine to Oliver Skipp and agrees with the feeling inside the club that he's going to become a key player for Spurs for years to come.
Yeah, which is really great. And we all know there's a full belief, especially amongst the fan base, that Ollie Skipp can be a very, very big player for many, many years for Tottenham. And I think his composure, his positional awareness, his awareness of his surroundings, that's what separates him from the rest of the midfield options. And I think Ollie Skipp can really be someone that Conte can count on.
Definitely. And, if yesterday's performance is anything to go by, he really can be a really important figure in an Antonio Conte side, that's for sure. And let's move on. The senior players at Tottenham have quickly been won over by Conte and by the ambition of the appointment of the Premier League and multiple Serie A winner, which also goes on to say Antonio Conte's request to have Ryan Mason join his 6-strong coaching team has also gone down well with the players and staff alike, with high hopes for the 30-year-old's long-term coaching career.
Yeah, it could be interesting. Maybe Ryan Mason, future Tottenham manager. Potentially.
You never know.
Potentially. If Conte's taken a shining to him,
but what learning he's had. Pochettino, Mourinho and Conte now.
Yeah, not bad. It's not bad when you're doing your coaching badges, is it? Not bad experience. But in terms of the squad, they needed a charismatic guy like Conte, someone who will be ruthless, but he'll also be someone who can get the best out of them. And that's exactly what he is. Everyone who's played under him seems to love him. So I think this squad, maybe this is the shot of the arm they need. I'm very happy that they seem to like what he's doing. I just hope in a couple of weeks' time we don't get these reports from Ali Gold saying, "Oh, he's working us too hard."
The Athletic.
Yeah, exactly, all the Athletic saying like they're getting worked too hard or something rubbish like that, which we've gotten a few times from these sets of players. But hopefully Conte could be the right man to get them on the right track.
Yeah, and when you look at players like John Terry, Cesc Fabregas, who have a clear history of hating Spurs, who have come out many times about their dislike about Spurs, when they come out and say Tottenham have got a real manager here, and Tottenham fans need to be very excited. I mean, you've got to take note of that. Yeah,
and even Fabregas, whom you might have argued that he might not have liked Conte that much because Conte didn't have him as a consistent starter all the time, but even him he's saying like he loved playing under him. He's a great manager, so shows how he can keep players who aren't regular starters on side and happy.
Yep, and the last one from Ali Gold is the Tottenham players have been blown away by the training session so far under Antonio, as he works on small details with them all and has already shown his man management skills.
Definitely, yeah.
And, when you're looking at as well the last two managers where there's been kind of murmurs about their man management skills, especially Jose Mourinho, there was stuff coming out about Nuno as well, about how his man management skills were. I mean, this is just a breath of fresh air, really. Yeah,
that's what I mean about having that charisma and having that energy, and that the players feed off as well, it seems, which is what Nuno just lacked. And that's just his style. And I just don't think it's the right thing that the squad needed, especially after the summer we had and after Mourinho. We needed someone with charisma, and we needed someone to get the players back on side and believing again. And Nuno is like the polar opposite to Conte in that aspect.
Yeah, very true. And we've actually got some quotes here from Conte on Dele Alli. And what he's saying is, Dele Alli has great potential. Physically, he is strong and very good. Now we are starting from zero. I tell every single player, not just specifically Dele, show me you deserve to play from the start and I'll give you the chance to start. And Jonathan Veal follows on from that and says, Antonio Conte has promised to give Dele Alli the chance to resurrect his Tottenham career.
Yes, whether he'll take it or not, I'm still sceptical. I'm sure that he'll try. I just like when he's up against... I do believe in terms of what we need from a centre mid or a player playing centrally behind the striker. I think Ndombele and Lo Celso might offer more, even if everyone's at their best. I know Dele has got a great goal record, but I don't know if he's up to it anymore in terms of that kind of standard and in terms of what Conte will require from him. It'll be interesting to see. If he does, I'm happy to be proved wrong. I just feel like he might find it hard to get Ndombele and Lo Celso out of the team.
Do you think that maybe Dele could play up front in a 3-5-2 system? Maybe
dropping
like
Son?
Well, I'm not saying dropping Son, but I'm saying could he thrive in that system?
I don't know. I don't know if he's up to that either. I think he would be dropping very, very deep, and like, would he be able to run in behind and really hurt the opposition? And on the flip side, would he able to drop deep and really either pull the strings in terms of picking through balls or like long shots and stuff like that, which Kane can do? I don't know. I don't feel like he could do a job like in 1 or 2 games if we have injuries or stuff, but over a long period, I'm doubtful.
All right, let's talk about some transfers now. And Tutto Mercato Web are saying that Antonio Conte and Fabio Paratici have agreed to sign Milan Skriniar and Dusan Vlahovic to bolster the Spurs squad. And I was actually reading a report.
I'm glad they've agreed on it. I just need Inter Milan to agree as well. Yeah.
I was actually reading a report from a few days ago saying Inter Milan still in massive financial problems and do need to sell again. So it could work in our favour. Really.
It's interesting because obviously Skriniar, we nearly got him because Conte didn't fancy him and was willing to sell, and obviously he ended up staying and ends up playing a lot of football and winning the league. But I have a feeling that Conte would probably rather De Vrij than Skriniar. And I think if we go into Milan for a defender, I don't know who's older. I think De Vrij might be older, but I reckon if we go in for one, it might be De Vrij.
Yeah, I think you could be right, but it's also worth noting on Skriniar. Yeah, he didn't fancy him at the start, but he definitely worked his way into Conte's mind and into Conte's plans. And at some stage during that season, I think it got to January, and Conte didn't want to sell him at all. Conte definitely wanted to keep him.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, but De Vrij was always in his plans, and he was always a main centre-back alongside Skriniar. So clearly, I think he's someone...
Was De Vrij his captain?
I don't know. But I would say he's someone he probably trusts more than Skriniar.
Interesting. I mean, I'll take either of them.
I'll take De Vrij as well. I think De Vrij is quality.
They're both quality. They're both absolute quality. So obviously, I would take either of them. In a heartbeat, that's for sure. But Gazzetta dello Sport are reporting that Tottenham are one of the favourites to sign Fiorentina striker Dusan Vlahovic and have already held talks with the Italian club in London about a move. The club are simply not giving up in the pursuit for him. So that's also good news. Good news.
I hope so, because it would be he would be a fantastic option to play in either 4-3-3 or 3-4-3 or 3-5-2, whatever it is. Another striking option would be absolutely vital for us. So if we can get Vlahovic through the door, that would be really, really great news. But whether he would he want to play with Kane, or whether he thinks he'd get enough game time, whether Kane that's maybe one thing that maybe Kane could be looking to leave. I don't know, but it'd be interesting to see how that affects the squad dynamic.
Well, if Kane is looking to leave, we need to buy 2 strikers.
Yeah, exactly, not just Vlahovic.
But I don't know if you saw the reports while you were away, but there were reports saying that Arsenal had agreed a fee with Fiorentina for Dusan Vlahovic, but Vlahovic was waiting for better offers.
Who said that?
I can't remember off the top of my head. But there were quite a lot of reports about it, saying that was the case, 80 million or something like that.
80 million?
That's what they were saying.
We're not paying 8 million for a guarantee.
But Vlahovic was very reluctant, or is very reluctant to accept that, and is waiting for better offers.
Sounds like agent talk to me.
Yeah, most probably. But that's all the reports what happened this week.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
Calcio Mercato saying Tottenham are keen on signing a new central midfielder, and Juventus man Weston McKennie is top of the list. Would you rather McKennie or Kessie?
I think Kessie. I think Kessie's a better player than McKennie. I think
he's
got
getting
a bit
cheaper
more
as well.
quality on the ball than McKennie does, and you can get him cheaper as well. Yeah, so I think Kessie would be my pick.
And last but not least, Sport 1. I'm not sure how reliable they are, but they're saying Karim Adeyemi has rejected an offer from Tottenham Hotspur. And I actually was speaking about him a couple of weeks ago, saying that he's one that we should definitely be looking at. I'm not sure how true it is that he's rejected us or not, but I'm very happy that we're being linked with him, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's a young striker in Salzburg, isn't he? Another one off the conveyor belt after Haaland and Hwang and whoever else.
Oh, it's Hwang from there as well, is he?
Yeah, and Daka as well. So they really do have a conveyor belt of talent coming out of Salzburg right now, and they're in the Champions League going great guns. They're one of the top. They're top of their group, I think.
And he's having a sensational season.
Having a great season. So it's going to be look. How much did Daka cost Leicester? 30 million, 35
something
million?
like that. Yeah.
So he's going to cost at least that, isn't he? And I think I'd love to get in there early, because clearly when there's a talent in Salzburg, he's worth getting. but we'll have to wait and see, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely
I
true.
think he's 19, right? He's still
Yeah, he's
very
19,
young.
yeah. All right, so that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of these stories that we've spoken about today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.